5 seconds to go. Start. The content of a free speech right, as described herein above, is to be understood in terms of the structural elements or components of a free speech right. Stop. Only when a free speech right is understood as such, deductions can be made as to the precise boundaries thereof and the basis on which such right can be limited or restrained. Stop. Stephen, in his essay titled The Structure of a Free Speech Right, in the Oxford Handbook of Freedom of Speech, has discussed 6 components of a free speech right, in the following words, para. The first is the force of a free speech right. Stop. This includes what type of legal right to free speech is formally recognized or at issue, for example, common law, statutory, or constitutional. Stop. This in turn helps to determine whether and how easily a free speech right can be legally superseded. Stop. Another aspect of force is whether and how the right is judicially enforceable. Stop. The second component is the subject of free speech rights, or who are the rights holders, for example, all persons within a jurisdiction or only citizens, legal persons including corporations or only natural persons, sign of interrogation. The third is the scope of a free speech right, a right to say or do what exactly, sign of interrogation. Does it include falsehoods, hate speech, or baking a cake, sign of interrogation. The fourth, as a distinct structural element concerning content, addresses whether the right includes not only negative prohibitions on relevant others but also positive obligations, such as a duty to affirmatively protect the free speech of rights holders from third party threats, sign of interrogation. The fifth component is the object of a free speech right, who are these relevant others that are bound by the holder's rights, sign of interrogation. Against whom can the right be validly asserted, sign of interrogation. Finally, there is the limitation of a free speech right. Stop. If the prior questions have all been answered to the effect that a free speech right is implicated and infringed in a particular situation, when, if ever, might there be a legally justified limitation of that right, sign of interrogation. Is the right can absolute bar or trump against inconsistent action and, if not, what presumptive weight attaches to it, sign of interrogation. How, when, and why can the presumption be rebutted, sign of interrogation. Collectively, by constituting and expressing the underlying structure of the right to free speech, the answers to these 6 questions help to define the nature and extent of any particular such right in a given legal system. Stop. Para. Referring to the aspect of limitation of a free speech right, the learned author has observed that the teleology of a constitutional order, can also play a role in fashioning the contours of free speech protections. Stop. That is to say, a free speech right may be fashioned to serve constitutional commitments. Stop. Para. According to Wesley, analysis of the form of rights, every right has a complex internal structure, and such structure determines what the rights mean for those who hold them. Stop. Such rights are ordered arrangements of basic components. Stop. One of the components of a right, is a correlative duty. Stop. That is to say, if X has a right, he is legally protected from interference in respect of such right, and such right carries with it the duty of the state, not to interfere with such right. Stop. If the state or any other person is under no correlative duty to abstain from interfering with the exercise of a right, then such a right is not a right in the strict sense. Stop. The boundaries of the protective perimeter within which a person can exercise their rights, comma, depend on the degree to which the state is duty bound to protect the right. Stop.